Now on CBS 2 News at 6 p.m.
Breaking news now on CBS 2 News at 6. LeBron James just announced he's coming to the Lakers. Good evening, I'm Suzanne Marquez.
And I'm Peter Dowd. There is certainly a lot of excitement about this news and what it will mean for the team. CBS 2 Sports Director Jim Hill is breaking it down for us.
And people are already getting in line at Staples Center because they know it's going to be a terrific season coming up. It's one of the biggest moves in NBA history and without a doubt will change the entire landscape of the league. LeBron's agency announced this afternoon that he has indeed agreed to a 4-year, $154 million contract. He cannot sign the deal until Friday. That's when the NBA's moratorium ends. Now, we all know the Lakers have missed the playoffs in each of the last 5 seasons, which is the longest drought in franchise history. But after LeBron's announcement, get this, they are now only behind the Golden State Warriors and the odds-on favorites to get to the championship next year. Reaction is pouring in on social media, that's for sure, including current Laker guard Lonzo Ball, who tweeted out this, quote, "Y'all really thought he was going to pass up the greatest city in the world with the hashtag, the king is here." And when we think about what happened, you know, we talked to Magic Johnson, and Magic was so forceful in saying, if I don't get it done, I'm going to quit. But you know what, though? He has the best name in all of sports, Magic. And as one person, Laker organization said, he's pulled out some magic on this one.
He certainly did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's been a while since they've been to the championship, so
yes, it has.
use it.
But yes, it has. But now you got a guy coming here who's been to the NBA Finals the last 9 years or so. So we don't want to jump to conclusions or anything like this, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light has just gotten a little bit brighter, that's for sure.
This really changes the landscape for the entire NBA, not just the Lakers.
Oh, without a doubt. And it makes some free agencies out there. Some free agents maybe want to come here to play with the Lakers, like Boogie Cousins, who just had an operation on his Achilles tendon. LeBron has always said he thinks the world of him as a big man, so maybe this will help him to heal a little faster and want to come and play for the Lakers a little sooner.
Okay, Jim, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
CBS 2 News will continue to follow all the developments about LeBron's announcement. We'll bring you more reaction as it comes in.
All right, well, this was also a very emotional afternoon for a mother separated from her daughter under the zero-tolerance policy on immigration.
CBS 2's Adriana Weingold is live at LAX, where the two reunited just an hour ago. Adriana.
Yeah, well, I can't even imagine what this mother and daughter have been through this month. They went through just a terrible, forcible separation. The daughter was taken from her mother after they crossed the border in Arizona. She was taken to a detention center in Corpus Christi. She was just reunited with her mother this afternoon. A tearful reunion as this immigrant mother and her child were reunited here at LAX. They broke down in tears as they embraced after being apart for more than a month. Their attorney, Mario Williams, spoke about their journey and had some strong words for the Trump administration.
The person to blame here is the Trump administration. The Trump administration continues to double and triple down on a policy that is blatantly unconstitutional.
Perla Alamengor de Velasquez and her daughter Jocelyn crossed the border together around May 19th. They were taken to a detention center on the Arizona-Mexico border. Perla told her attorney it was 3:30 in the morning when an officer came and told her they were taking her daughter. Williams says Perla told her daughter she was going to get food and a bath, but knew she wouldn't see her for a while, maybe ever.
The way the law has always worked up until this egregious policy is that you don't separate, at the very least, asylum seekers from their children. And if you did, once that person is released, who is an asylum seeker, you would have released that person with their child. That didn't happen here.
Williams says Perla and her daughter came to the U.S. looking for safety from a violent country where it wasn't safe to live. Now they're finally back together, holding on tight, so no one can ever rip them apart again. And Perla was released on bond on Tuesday. Her attorney filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration. We are live at LAX. Adriana Weingold, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Adriana. An emotional reunion in Miami today as well. A 7-year-old girl and her mother were reunited at the airport after being apart for nearly 2 months. Buenaventura Gomez says she was fleeing gang violence in Guatemala when she entered the U.S. to seek asylum with her 10-month-old son. They were detained together, but when her husband crossed the border with their daughter days later, that's when they were separated. The family is still waiting to hear about their asylum request.
Well, it's election day in Mexico as the country is selecting a new president. Lines were long at the polling places, and the campaign was marred by some of the worst political violence in decades. Dozens of candidates and political workers have been killed since campaigning began last year. The frontrunner is the former mayor of Mexico City, Andres Manuel López Obrador. He promises to crack down on corruption and also stimulate the economy.
Evacuation orders today because of a fast-moving wildfire in Northern California. The so-called county fire is burning in Yolo County, 55 miles northwest of Sacramento. But the smoke can be seen 75 miles away in San Francisco. The fire quadrupled overnight to 22,000 acres. Structures are also threatened. Mark Thompson found some residents reluctant to leave.
Residents here along County Road 63 watched with concern as flames spread closer and closer from hillside to homes.
Well, any fire is too close, isn't it?
Even our interview interrupted as flames burst nearby. Now, from...
That.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, take a picture of that.
Despite mandatory evacuation orders and a shelter set up at nearby Grange Hall, some chose to wait it out and do what they could to protect their property.
Well, just sprinkling a little here, I don't know. I'll have to depend on the fire department.
Firefighters facing challenging conditions as temperatures topped 100 degrees, but they continued to attack by air and on the ground.
We have weather is a huge issue, the terrain, the topography, the fuels. We're getting ready to run out of daylight, so that's going to hamper the air.
They're just kind of evacuating this whole area. We're trying to see what's going on.
Meanwhile, residents left to watch, wait, and worry about more than just themselves.
You know, our main focus was getting horses and livestock out, and well, pretty much just trying to get all of our friends and stuff out.
As firefighters continue to bring in more resources to get a hold on and contain the blaze.
No injuries have been reported in this fire. It is 0% contained.
All right, turning now to the weather here at home. We have our own concerns about the fire in Southern California with temperatures heating up this week. CBS 2 meteorologist Amber Lee joins us live in studio with our first forecast. Hey, Amber.
Hi, Peter. That's right. We are expecting a big warm up as we head into the next few days. But right now, we're starting the month of July off with slightly cooler than normal temperatures. Today, we only topped out at 78 degrees for downtown LA. Normally, we should be about 82, but not too bad. We had lots of sunshine once the clouds cleared. Sun going down tonight around 8:08. And out the door right now, you can see lots of sunshine still with clear conditions, and that's because that marine influence has pushed offshore. For downtown LA, we're currently looking at a high of 73 degrees. Winds calm at the moment, but it is still very warm outside, but we're finally slowly starting to cool down. So we had low 90s earlier for San Bernardino the last hour. Now we're looking at a high of upper 80s, 83 for Ontario, 89 for Lancaster, 83 right now for Van Nuys, and 77 currently for Fullerton. And you can also see we're starting to see some greens pick up here on the board, especially as you get closer to the coast. So temperatures getting a little bit more mild. But if you want to compare temperatures to this time yesterday, we're definitely warmer in some spots. 5 degrees warmer for Fullerton, 4 for Van Nuys, and 3 for Riverside. So again, a big warming trend on the way. I'll let you know whether or not that's going to arrive on 4th of July or if we can see it a little bit later. Back to you.
All right, Amber, thanks. A Bel Air neighborhood could go to bed the same way that they woke up, in the dark. A tree came crashing down on Roscamar Road and took some power lines with it. About 150 customers lost their power, and it may not be restored until 11 tonight. The tree blocked the entire street, but no one was hurt. There was no property damage. DWP and LA Street Service crews have spent the day removing the tree and trying to repair the power lines.
Police are investigating a deadly shooting at an Oxnard hotel. It happened overnight at the Hilton Homewood Hotel near South Rice Avenue and East Gonzales Boulevard. CBS 2's Joy Benedict tells us guests were shocked and troubled by a killing inside the hotel.
It was a confusing sight to hotel guests at this Homewood Suites in Oxnard. Crime scene tape covered most of the back parking lot, and police officers were stationed in the hallways.
I looked down, there was a police officer standing there, asked her what happened. She wouldn't tell me.
With police cars out front and crime scene investigators going in and out, it didn't take long to realize that something was wrong.
I didn't hear anything, I just know that, something happened.
Oxnard police got a call at about 3:30 Sunday morning about a shooting victim. Paramedics were unable to help the 29-year-old man, and he died Investigators are calling it a homicide.
Pretty scary that happened and we didn't even hear about it.
Those staying here at the Homewood Suite say the shooting happened inside a room on the first floor here at the back of the hotel. However, many of them didn't even realize something happened until this morning.
It was shocking when I woke up this morning.
But as alarming as the scene was for those staying here, many say they aren't surprised by much anymore, and their concern isn't for their comfort, but for the family of the man who died here.
It is very sad for the family.
Joy Benedict, CBS 2 News.
All right, we'll have more on LeBron James and his decision to join the LA Lakers later in sports.
Also, an LA man accused of a violent rampage at a young girl's birthday party. Find out what happened and what may have triggered the attack.
Plus, a huge problem at a hotel. Look at this, when floodwaters burst through the doors and create a huge mess.
And a Caribbean vacation takes a deadly turn when a tour boat explodes into flames.